Welcome to our Wednesday meditation service. If you would like to have somebody's name called out at the prayer time, you can write their name on a piece of paper and put it in the prayer box that's right there, and it'll be called out. We have refreshments right after this service, and I just want to read the word for today. Throughout my life, I have grown. Physically, I have grown from a baby to a child to an adult. Along the way, I have grown intellectually, and as I've matured, I have grown emotionally. As I have shared these divine gifts and so many more, I have come to know and love God deeply. This deepening in faith has guided me onward along my soul's journey of awakening. I deepen in faith on my spiritual journey, and that's the word for today. So just get comfortable, and we're going to do a short chant. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my heart to feel only love. Open my mind to be only love. Illuminating love from the ascended one. Illuminating love from the divine one. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my heart to feel only love. Open my mind to be only love. Illuminating love from the ascended one. Illuminating love from the divine one. Illuminating love from the beloved one. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. Breathing in your love brings peace and understanding. Breathing in your love brings peace and compassion. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. Breathing in your love brings peace and compassion. Breathing in your love brings peace and compassion. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my heart to feel only love. Open my mind to be only love. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my heart to feel only love. Open my mind to be only love.
This devout, middle-aged woman was a seeker of the life-transforming truth. And she heard that there was a guru in India that was able to impart the life-transforming truth. So she traveled to India and made her way to the ashram where this guru carried on his spiritual life. And she said to him, I heard people say that you are one who is able to impart the life-transforming truth. And he said, then it shall be for you. I want you to take this box back to America, to your home, and place it in your living room, facing east. There can be nothing in front of it for 15 feet at least. But it must be in your living room facing east. And so she went back to her home with this box. But to place it in her living room facing east, with nothing in front of it for 15 feet, she would have to move her sofa. So she moved her sofa, but when she did that, it blocked the entrance to the living room. And so she knew she had to change the entrance to her living room. But the only way to change it, put it through the kitchen, behind the refrigerator. So she thought, well, I'll change the entrance, but I'll move the refrigerator. So when she did that, the refrigerator blocked the entrance to the kitchen. But to change the entrance to the kitchen, she would have to change the stairway that went upstairs to the bedroom. And if she were to change the stairway, she would have to change the entrance to her house in the front. But then to change the entrance to her house in the front, the only place you could change it to would place her right on the street that runs past her house. And she went through the whole trouble of having the city change that street. She would have to change other streets in the town, and it would matter to change all of that particular neighborhood. And then she realized if I change this neighborhood in that way and go through all that I have to go through, it will wind up changing the entire city. And then if I change the entire city the way it has to be in order for that box to face east, I will have to change the entire country, and then possibly I will have to change the entire world. So she managed to get a phone call through to her guru in India, and she explained to him her situation. And the guru said, and you still haven't gotten it? The life-transforming truth? And she realized the life-transforming truth is she could not change the world. When you know you cannot change the world, you're joining the Chinese enlightened sage Lao Tzu. And this is what he had to say. This is from the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu's famous little book. For those who would like to improve the world, I see they can't succeed. For the world is a sacred vessel, not something that can be acted on. For those who would like to improve the world, I see they can't succeed. For the world is a sacred vessel, not something that can be acted on. A couple of Sundays ago at the group discussion following the class on the floor in A Course in Miracles, someone asked me this question. When you use the word illusion, are you saying that everything I see around me doesn't exist, isn't actually there? I said, no. It's there, it exists, but it doesn't exist apart from you. It's there, it exists, but it doesn't exist apart from you. And in that understanding, you have the enlightened awareness. There is nothing really outside of you. The whole concept, the definition of life as we learn it from the beginning in the world is flawed. Because it seems to us we operate strictly at an early age from body consciousness. And it seems to us that this body personality that develops is a separate individual self. And so it was necessary for us to learn some things about being a body self in order to keep from coming into some kind of difficulty or tragedy. We had to learn the space, time, experience to keep from being hit by cars and, drowning and things like that. But beyond that, we started to think that this is the true self. And so as we grew up, believing that this is the true self, my personal idea, my body conscious idea of life, being a separate individual in a world of separate phenomena, is exactly how I need to operate. And I've got to figure out how to make life conform to my desires in order for me to be happy. I've got to figure out how to make life meet my personal expectations. And so that's what we do. And we go about doing it in many different ways that occur to us that we might be able to pull it off. If I had enough money, if I was popular enough, powerful enough, then I could get things to conform to my personal expectations. But you hear the Master saying to you, that's not possible. You cannot make the world conform to you. What is left then? What is this journey we're on to this enlightened state of consciousness? What is left is the recognition that no, you are not a separate body-mind in a separate world of separate phenomena, separate from the Creator, separate from everything. You're not. And you may continue that way for a long time, even after you hear the truth. You may continue to attempt to make life work that way, the definition of life work that way. And all you have to do is look at the world and recognize the insanity and the suffering that permeates the entire world. And people keep talking about, changing something, the political system. We've got to get the right people into the political system where they have the power to do that which is right by virtue of changing the world so it has peace and opportunity and does what is really good for everyone. And some people go about it that way, other people go about it another way, trying to gain power, prestige, and money so they can figure out how to buy at least some section of life and make it work accordingly to what they believe is going to be what life needs. And they will fail at that. And they will continue to see and not understand what the Buddha said about the life of the world being suffering. And the only way to enter a life truly worth living is to transform one's own consciousness. By transforming one's own consciousness to a more majestic awareness, a different reality, the reality that A Course in Miracles refers to as the real life. To enter the real life means that one has to take to task his or her own awareness. So you can see how clearly different it is if the only thing one can change is one's own awareness, one's own response to everything taking place in the world. We can only change our response to the conditions and circumstances and machinations that are taking place in the world around us. The illusion that that world is separate from us is simply an illusion. It is not. And it is like the box facing east. At some point you get to the place where you say, life doesn't work on this level. And all you have to do is look at people that seemingly have gained the money, the power, the success, the prestige, that you're thinking, oh my God, if I had that kind of money, if I had that kind of popularity, prestige, then I would obviously be able to control my life so I'd be happy. No. That's why you see so often people that seemingly, maybe movie actors, rock stars, that seemingly have gained everything that you could want because you seemingly could buy your way through most difficulties in the world, and you see them having to go to drug rehabilitation centers. They have to take alcohol. They have to beg a doctor. They have to beg a doctor to give them a drug so they can sleep. And then it turns out that the drug was an overdose, and so this superstar dies. And it goes on and on and on. You take somebody like, and I think this is one of the most insane example of, the story is so old. The actor, the superstar actor that did this, his name escapes me now, but he's on a level with Clint Eastwood. He was stuck in traffic and jumped out of his car, grabbing a golf club, and jumped on top of the hood of the car in front of him and just started smashing the windshield. It only cost him about $5 million to do that. And it didn't change anything in the traffic jam. But if we are awake in the process of living, we see that the definition of life that the world shares, that we were born into, that we were raised in, educated in, simply fails to bring about the necessary insight to live effectively, beautifully, joyfully, wonderfully, it fails. Because there needs to be a personal transformation so that we can alleviate karma, limited negative karma that comes to us from living in opposition and fear and concern and worry and vengeance regarding all those other people that are doing things that I don't agree with, and they're doing things that get in my way, and they're trying to get over on me, and I'm losing because they're still doing this and that, and they should know better. So all of that limited negative consciousness could be removed if you take seriously there is a real world to be had, a real world to enter. And it will require unconditional forgiveness, release, no blame, no consternation, no getting even, no fear, just blessing. Regardless of what comes your way or what's on your path or what's not going according to your personal desires, doesn't matter. To sustain the mastery of consciousness is to make peace your goal. Now, when we're very young, peace doesn't seem like the goal. And most of you aren't very young anymore anyway. Look at you. So you've been around a long time. But when you're young, peace doesn't seem like that's the thing to be going after. You want excitement. You want thrills. You want romance. You want money, popularity. All right. But you should have reached that place where you begin to recognize there must be another way. And then it becomes apparent this. Listen carefully. Suppose you believed that at some point when you drop the body, after struggling through life with all of its difficulties and suffering, and you drop the body, and you actually went to heaven, what would you have to learn in heaven? Let me put it this way. Could there be such a place as heaven in which the people there did not have peace of mind? Could you ever be in the heaven, no matter how you design it, and not have peace of mind? Not possible. And you would have to learn when you got there, because you'd be a pain in everybody's rear end, that up here it's all about peace of mind. But that's not it, because heaven, the Master of Life said, is in your midst. It's all around you, but you still don't see it. So peace of mind, then, is the goal. It's the proof of the fact that you now no longer are at odds with life as it appears to you. You're not at odds with it. You're not seeking to change it or, demonstrate over it, or even figure it out for that matter. You simply live in a state where you choose peace, and you choose to bestow peace. And so you don't have that going on within you that is in opposition to your true state of mind, which is peace. And when you're capable of doing that, when you're capable of recognizing when your negative thoughts and emotions rise within you, you're able to pause. Ask yourself this question: can you do that yet? Are you one who is able to pause when things are not meeting your expectations, your desires, your demands? Can you pause and choose peace? And if you can't, you're not yet fully on track to enter the enlightened state of awareness. Because you can't change the world, but you can change your consciousness. And to change your consciousness, you must free yourself from the egocentric definition of life that I'm a separate body-mind in a world of separate phenomena and separate others who do not necessarily have my self-interest at heart. I have to be manipulative. I have to be controlling. I have to be smarter than them. I may have to cheat them a little bit. And who are you cheating? As you try to cling to the world and make the world serve your limited perception of what it is. So, A Course in Miracles is speaking to this all the time. This is from page 186 in the old text. In the new text, it's on page 201. Never forget that the sonship is your salvation. For the sonship is yourself, and in A Course in Miracles, she capitalizes that self. The sonship, that is, instead of there being one separate special Son of God named Jesus of Nazareth, the sonship is the Son of God. The whole living expression of God is in the sonship of awareness or being. So as God's creation, the sonship is yours, and belonging to you, it is His. Yourself, with a capital S, does not need salvation, but your mind needs to learn what salvation is. You are not saved from anything, but you are saved for glory. Glory is your inheritance, given you by your Creator, that you might extend it. Yet if you hate part of yourself, with a capital S, all your understanding is lost, because you are looking on what God created as yourself without love. Imagine now, you step out of your house early in the morning to start your day, and your only goal in that day, or the priority for that day, is to bestow peace within yourself in relationship to everything else you will encounter that day. Doesn't mean you don't go to work, doesn't mean you don't go to school, it doesn't mean you don't have your relationships, it doesn't mean you don't go to Starbucks, doesn't mean you don't do any of those things. You do them. But as you look out at everything that you are doing, you know that the priority in doing it is to sustain peace, not be at odds with anything, but to bless, mostly silently bless, and be considerate and caring, no matter what. And why are you doing that? And I will tell you now why. Because the only thing true religion can ever give you is a pathway to feel good. No matter where you are, no matter what's going on, can you imagine, what would you pay for it? I mean, now you put your a little bit of money in the offering basket or whatever. But what would you pay if the guru came up to you and said, I can give you something that you can't gain from the world, so that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you will always feel good? And guess what? This guru has just given it to you. So we have the opportunity to feel good right here and now. And we'll start by listening to these Tibetan bowls that are calibrated to vibrate with the 7 chakras of the mind that give rise to the harmonies of consciousness, even in the physical. So we're going to listen to those for a few minutes, just allow ourselves to feel good. embrace this mantra for this meditation. Having no imagined separate self, with no imagined special needs, only love is given, only love received. Having no imagined separate self, with no imagined special needs, only love is given, only love received. Having no imagined separate self, with no imagined special needs, only love is given, only love received. In this refined level of awareness, we will offer the names of those that have been submitted to our prayer list. As Norma calls the name, just let the thought, "You are whole," go to that name.
Leslie Bova, Chris White, Gwendolyn, Adawab, Jenny Anderson, those in need, world peace, personal healing, Bob Larson, Raheem Larson, prosperity for all, Viola Cleo Bradshaw, Behalia Cordelia Vogel, reunion with true soul mate, Kathleen Monod, Francoise Netter, Aaron Baker, Pam Cobb, Dan Spahn, Kathy and Mother, Sandy Spahn, Ryan, children, Amanda, Julian, Kaya, Marina, Chris, Nicole, Andy, Wally, Sam, Nico, Sarah, Petra, Eris, Sue Hollinshead, Big Boy the Kitty Cat, Laura Phillips, the Woods family, Gwen and Chrissy, RFK Jr., Glenn, Eva, Graham, Leo, Andrea, Heather, Jessica, Erica, Jason, Jim, Cheryl, Alan Goodman, Christopher Ryan, Isabel, Tom and Judy Stalmack, Susie Wirtz, David Lee Harper, Unity Team, Dana Rowan, Oakley, Walter Verhagen, Elizabeth, Charlotte Gale, Elaine McCarthy, Michael Crookney, Anna Polanco, Sandy Bigtree. And you can call out a name if you would like to at this time. We see this healing light surrounding the prayer box and all the people's names that have been submitted throughout the month. We see them healed physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Let us embrace the vision of the new heaven in earth, recognizing this refined level of consciousness, rising in the consciousness of everyone sharing this Boulder community with us. And it's spreading to everyone sharing the state of Colorado with us. More and more people feeling good, and it expressing through everyone sharing these United States of America with us, and it moving in the consciousness of everyone in every nature and every culture of the world, and it bringing harmony and healing to all the relationships of all the creatures on planet Earth. As we pray, The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and God is love. To this we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. Those of you watching on the screen can scroll down on our website to where it says donate. And we bring to mind and bring into our hands that gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder. And let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give.
The ocean refuses no river, no river. The ocean refuses no river. Ishkala bulila, Ishkala, Ishkala bulila, Ishkala. The ocean refuses no river. The ocean refuses no river.
Join me now, please. We dedicate this tithe to the will and the work of the Spirit of truth, the Spirit available to each of us, the Spirit that joins all of us. We dedicate this tithe to the victory of the Spirit of truth. To this we say, Amen. So do we have anything happening tomorrow?
You're going to meet over in the bookstore?
Yeah, we do have tea and cookies for those of you who'd like to stay and chat through these doors to your left into the bookstore. I will be doing the 9 a.m. service on Sunday, completing. We will continue the series of Revelation talks on the flaw in A Course in Miracles. So we'll see you at 9. And Santisha will be officiating at the 11 o'clock service.
And I have the Sacred Feminine tomorrow at 12 noon. And it's just a warm invitation of people getting together that are women, and we expressing our knowledge of herbs and which is healing remedies, and different ways to bring yourself into balance with homeopathy and chiropractors and natural nature paths. But it isn't just on that. We discuss everything to do with the women's point of view on life. So, sorry. Very, very cool. So that's 12 noon tomorrow in the bookstore area.
To everyone, have a beautiful night.